Welcome to M&A Minute by Finch Brands. I'm Bill Gullen, president of Finch Brands, and we are a real-world brand consultancy. We help companies at key moments, often M&A moments, strengthen, clarify, and activate the full potential of their brands and businesses. And today we're going to talk about how to do just that. A key question that often comes up in this space, we've talked about brand migration and how often the migration path is slow's not the right word, but careful. And so that often means that, particularly in the case where strong brands have been acquired or mergers of strong brands have transpired, how do you know when the right time is to basically finish the migration, meaning adopt that long-term brand architecture, which often means sunsetting equities. In some cases, you might have used an endorser, powered by, and at some point, the intent is for that endorser to drop away, or for the brand that's doing the endorsing to become the primary master brand. And that's a time of change. So often we're called upon to answer that question of when, or when will we know, or how will we know that the equity dynamic is right for the long-term brand architecture to be triggered? Well, the answer to that is highly variable. But one thing that we've done to great effect is to basically say, if we were to say 12 months, 18 months, 24 months, 6 months, 3 months, whatever, it would be a guess. The right answer is determined by the facts on the ground. And so in some cases, the right way to determine the right time to trigger really the end of the migration is to use data. And so what we can do, and often do, is let's conduct rolling, could be quarterly, could be semi-annually, could be annually, brand tracking research. Let's build a rubric of considerations, and let's establish benchmarks and targets. So if we're studying things like aided and unaided awareness, or a sense of brand trajectory, or brand preference, or the degree to which distinctive elements of a new brand's positioning have been understood and are recalled by a target audience, if we establish benchmarks and targets there, that data will tell us when the time is right. Let's say that the brand that we are in our long-term brand architecture will ultimately replace a high brand equity acquired brand. Let's assume the equity of that acquired brand, let's say the market awareness is, 45%. We then may say that the right level of trigger for that brand to sunset and the acquiring brand to rise singularly in its place might be tied to the equity of the acquiring brand reaching, let's say, 30 or 35% within that target audience. Doesn't have to go all the way, but we need the acquiring brand that ultimately is going to be the main brand to have the right level of equity strength to determine when we're comfortable sunsetting or merging finally away from the acquired brand. And so brand equity studies and using that data to drive timing decisions, to use the facts on the ground to determine when the time is right to make the switch, is an intelligent and a reality-based method of doing that, as opposed to just saying, you know what, we think it's going to be about 24 months, and then at some point we're going to have to use our intuition. The risk of doing it intuitively is either that you wait too long and you miss those upside opportunities, or that you act too quickly and the full process of acculturating the marketplace to the new brand architecture approach hasn't gone through completely, and so you risk losing brand equity. So by using data and by using brand tracking and brand health assessments to make that timing decision, as opposed to something more arbitrary, is a way of making sure that you're timing the market effectively. Plus, when you're doing brand tracking longitudinally, you can also use it remedially, meaning that if you do a brand tracking study 6 months into a brand integration process, and you find, not surprisingly, that the master brand may not yet be strong enough or known enough within the target audience for the sort of full transition to take place, you can assess the gaps of strength, and that can help you shift your marketing mix. It can help you shift your communications approach so that you are, again, taking the right kinds of actions that is going to help that master brand get its feet underneath it and gain the requisite strength to become all that you intend for it to be. So today's topic is really how to make that timing decision. And in the right circumstance, we believe that using sort of a data-driven approach to brand health assessment and brand tracking is the most accurate way and the safest and highest potential way to do that. That's today's M&A Minute. If you want to be a champion of purposeful change, give us a call at Finch Brands. Hope everybody's having a great start to fall, and we're grateful for your time.